Okay, I am.
Dia peti mobile tududungja.
What is happening?
T-Mobile
Dia peti mobile tududungga.
God, you guys are on like drugs or something. I swear.
An ally has been slain.
Oh, let me put my phone on vibrate actually, since I don't get notifications super often, but when I do, it's Del Monte. How's that go?
Now it's having a mobile tududungga.
I'm hungry.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Full-INT Podcast, episode 7, I think it is. And with me is my lovely co-host, Mr. Brandon Booher. My name is Richard Hugh Tran, otherwise known as Torchbearer. And that little cackling moron on whatever side of the screen I'm with is Nika, otherwise known as Real Girl Please, who's a support that we talked about when we covered Scrims during our other episodes, and who we affectionately call Nika, and all the other stuff in ways that we referenced her in the past. But with all that out of the way, this is just going to be more of a free flow episode since Nika is our first guest, and we're just going to shoot the shit and see where everything goes.
Nika's the crackhead.
She is the crackhead. True.
I don't snort coke.
That's not what we said.
That's what a crackhead is. You act like a crackhead without taking any crack.
True.
Yeah, but you can't. Okay, but you can't call me a crackhead if I don't do any coke. Okay, I can just cracked.
Okay, you're just cracked. I like that. You're just cracked. You're just cracked. That's epic.
Cracked.
We had the C-Ron kid, cracked.
Yeah.
Cranked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cranked.
You just gotta take the N. You just gotta take the N. You gotta take the N from cranked, and you got Nika, and I'm cracked.
I don't know if you want to say cranked and take the N in the same sentence. I don't.
Wait, I like.
Okay. If you take the N from cranked,
Yeah.
N as in Nika, what comes out of it is cracked.
She's saying she's the same as cranked because all you have to do is take out the N, and it's her because she's cracked.
Okay.
And you take out the N, it stands for Nika.
Okay. Perfect.
So that's how that works, I suppose.
So cranked equals cracked.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So okay.
That makes sense.
And you want to introduce yourself to the pod real quick?
Yes, my name is Cracked, and I like big chickens.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
She likes big chickens. I like big chickens too, though.
Yeah, I like them. I like them featherless chickens.
Like featherless? Like you prefer them juicy or like dry?
Bone in or bone out? You want
bone in.
Chicken bone in?
I like it bone in. Bone in.
It gives it more flavor. I agree.
Yes.
Boneless chicken is just nugs.
You with the boneless. You just chew it. With bones, you gotta suck it. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta suck the bone. True.
I don't suck the bones. You guys suck
if
the bones.
What's wrong with you?
If it has the marrow, right? If it's just if it's fried and it's weak and it's obviously not cooked through and there's no marrow to suck it, there's no point.
I don't like bones.
Wait, no. Wait, that's
I
not
don't
the
like
type
bones.
of. That's not the type of sucking the bones that you do. Though I'm confused. When you have the chicken, when it's cooked perfectly well, that you can just suck the meat out of the bones.
Oh,
okay, yeah, I can understand that, but.
And then there's the little crust on the bones that you gotta go nibble on. No.
I don't know. Bones freak me out because they come with cartilage.
Oh, bones freak you out.
Well, no, because they come with cartilage. So, and I don't.
Cartilage.
Okay, why are you making that face?
Yes, Sam. Or I don't know how the layout's gonna be. The cartilage makes Brandon uncomfortable.
Nika's on your top right. I'm on your top left. So if you point, if you point that way, you point at me. If you point the other way, you point at Nika.
Okay.
If I point this way, I point at Nika. Nika, if you point this way, which way is that? Okay, other way. If you point this way, you'll point at me.
Yeah.
If you point down, you'll point at Richard.
You can tell this is our very first guest episode. We don't know what the fuck's going on.
Oh my god.
Well, Discord's weird with how they lay stuff out. It's flipped. So for you, whenever you look at your camera, you're actually the other way for other people.
Yeah.
So for me, this is on my left, but it should be on my right for you guys or something like that.
Yeah. So when you're pointing that way, you're pointing at me.
Yeah, this dumbass is Brandon. This fucking.
But if I
crackhead
point
is
this way, just know I'm pointing at you,
the
Nika.
opposite way, Richard.
Oh, this is Nika. This is Brandon. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Wait, which one of you did you call us a dumbass? Oh, dude, no, I'm very intelligent.
Dumbass and crackhead.
Okay, I'm not. I'm very
Okay.
intelligent. I'll have you know.
But
You are.
oh
you
shit!
are.
I was gonna say we have the glasses, but we all have fucking glasses. So
Yeah, it
It's
doesn't
the
work.
one with the glasses.
We can't lean into the trope anymore.
That's
Fuck.
epic.
that is so sad.
Oh man,
But I don't want to be blind.
Yeah.
you don't want to be.
We have
I mean,
to pay a premium to interact with the world. We're just kind of fucked, dude.
yeah, it's actually
I
kind of messed
know.
up, huh? In order to be able to see, we kind of. I mean, that's like medical in general, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
If
I mean,
you
it's
want to
not
be
as
able to
bad in
walk, you
other
got to buy
countries, though.
crutches.
Yeah,
not
but
as bad
it's
as other
like
countries.
you have to like spend like what, like $400 like every year, maybe two,
Yeah.
of like your like
I mean, you
Okay,
could
I
get
don't
to
spend
LASIK
that
just
much.
to share your thought.
see.
Yeah, just to see and like.
I don't
do
spend that much. I mean, I don't wear contacts.
People have that shit for free.
Yeah. that's
No,
cool.
like, do you not replace your glasses like every like 2 years or 1 year? Like,
replace them,
okay,
like-
I break mine a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I broke my last pair, but that was the first pair I've ever broke.
Yeah, but you're
Oh.
supposed to
But-
get your prescription switched out every like 2 years.
Yeah, but
or
you can
so.
just get the lenses switched out. You don't have to get new frames. I've
Yeah,
never
you
done
can,
that,
that's
but
boring.
Pretty
I mean,
pricey.
I'm kind of on the high end now. But I'm so upset because my last frames were Versace
Oh shit!
and they
cool,
got
Versace.
dominated. These ones are what are these ones? These ones are
Don't tell me they're Gucci. Don't tell me they're
Marco.
fucking
There's a
Gucci.
Marco Polo.
Oh, this is a Dior.
The
brand, by the
assassins.
way.
I call them the assassins.
A
Who is that?
Christian, I have.
Christian
This is a
Dior.
Yeah,
I can't
it's a
show
high-end
off
brand.
my tie. I'm not wearing it.
Yeah,
I just
pussy.
have a
salty.
porn star.
Yeah, corn star. Yeah,
Riley,
perfect.
what, Reid? Is that
Yeah.
who you're talking about?
the
She's a
corn star.
freak.
Yeah, she's a very
Corn
famous
star.
farmer.
Yes.
Farmer?
I don't know if she's retired. Is she retired?
I don't fucking know.
No.
That shit.
No.
Wait,
I don't think so. I don't know. I
who
wouldn't
said
know.
that
How
so
long-
confidently? He said that
I
instantly.
don't-
By the way, Frame,
Exposed.
there was no delay. He
Exposed.
said no. You want to tell the class something, Brandon?
It's time to share with the class. Oh my gosh.
How do you know?
I don't
know?
think
Yeah.
so. At least.
Show and tell,
Um,
Booher. Do tell
I've been
us.
watching these people on. I think they have a podcast actually. I've been watching these people on TikTok.
Oh,
They
Yeah.
no, not like that. They don't have that. Do they? I'm sure they do. There probably is some corn running around on TikTok, isn't there?
oh yeah. Hell
for
yeah.
sure.
I know
Anyway,
a lot about those.
It's like this. I don't remember the name of it. It's just like this. I think it's a podcast, but they have like their quick TikTok clips, and they like interview
Yeah.
like porn stars and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think I see those on the site as well. And then like after they like. Oh.
What? No.
Nico, wait, where
No,
are you?
wait,
Hold on, wait.
No. I'm literally telling you guys. I've literally seen one where they're like, they're like interviewing, and then like the next scene, like after the 30 minutes, they're just like,
That's called a
Sorry.
casting
I
couch.
swear to you, no. I swear to you, no.
It's like a legit interview.
yeah.
What the fuck?
Do I have to find it for you guys?
No.
Nika.
Are you serious right now? It's like an actual interview. It's not like a
On
not like a
TikTok?
scripted.
Yes. No,
like-
not on TikTok. No, it's obviously on the site. It's obviously on the site. It's
I
not
think
gonna
those
be
are
on,
fake. I don't think those are real,
social-
Nika.
Those are.
No,
those have to be
obviously,
fake.
no. But obviously they come there. They're like premised, and they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this interview, and after we get, I get to bone you.
Yeah, I think those are all scripted.
That's called
Everything is scripted. No, but and probably the interview is not, like, because they asked them about like their like how like shit is, like how like the real stuff. Like, have you
Yeah,
not seen
what
like
up?
the behind the
How's your
scenes
life
of like
been?
coins? Oh, let me show some. Let me.
Nika, we see your monitor, okay?
We don't. We do. Oh, we do.
In her mirror.
That's
Don't
actually
get us
epic.
demonetized.
Oh no, wait, no. Wait,
What
that's
is
not
that?
it. That's not it.
You're
Oh, you can't
disappointed.
see. It's just too
It's a
bright.
triangle.
It's too bright.
It's like
just
a
a triangle.
black triangle and then like a yellow triangle.
It's too bright. No,
What is that supposed to
yes,
be?
it is. I'm disappointed.
What is it?
Orange and black.
Orange and black.
I see. Did you just look up orange and black and like popped up Google Images?
Yes. Orange
Well,
and
why-
black. But what are these?
Halloween?
I don't know about you. I don't
Okay,
think I
wait.
think of first when I think of orange and black.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
do.
know.
What? I do. What? I do. Wait, what?
What the? I don't think. I think of Halloween first.
I don't think I think of Halloween either. I just think of I think orange and black are actually very good colors to go together.
Okay, but what's your association though, right?
I don't think I have one with
Orange
it.
and black.
No, but
I think
every time
why?
I see that like specific shade of orange, it gotta be a yellowish or okay, I look fucking disgusting right now,
It's
but
got to be the same
it gotta be
shade.
a yellowish. It gotta be that that corn hub yellow. or
Have you guys seen the
orange,
actual
call it.
corn hub where it's like literally just people eating corn? Someone took the fucking domain name and just fucking shit posted with that. That's
I
what's
remember
awesome.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
They're
never
actually
seen
legendary.
it.
You've never been to
Yeah.
it?
Nope.
See that one
It's
you can
literally
go to.
it's literally just corn. That's it.
It's literally straight up corn.
Okay, like the last time I saw people eating corn, they were eating it off of a fucking drill, and some people lost their fucking got scalped. They like fucking lost their teeth.
Oh yeah, no, that was like a really bad idea. I remember that trend. Yeah, like it was very dangerous. I don't know why people were doing it.
People
They just
are
thought it was,
so
it
dumb.
was like ripping out their teeth because it was literally a drill. Like they'd stick corn and cob on
Yeah.
a drill, and they were literally
And they just open
to
their
rip out
mouth
their
and, like-
teeth.
I think they saw too many cartoons. They're like, this will work out great. Because
It's like
and
that-
some of them,
yeah.
like some of the girls, like their hair got like caught
Yeah,
into a
with
fucking
cotton.
drill, and they got fucking scalped, like scalped in the front, like a
That's
big ass
fucking
bald spot.
crazy. If we ever start
The
doing
opposite
that
of a
shit,
unicorn.
we gotta retire instantly. There's no shot.
I'm not doing that. I'm not like
Or
a
down
Tide.
that
I'm
bad?
not a Tide Pod eater. Don't worry. That might be my generation,
A
but I don't
Tide Pod eater?
associate.
Same.
What? You've never eaten soap? It tastes so disgusting. Sorry.
Nika, how did
Not
you eat
willingly. No.
No. Okay. Like, okay, cilantro. You know cilantro? That shit
Yeah.
tastes like soap. That shit tastes like soap.
I think no, well,
Cilantro
that's a
doesn't taste
genes
like
thing.
soap.
You have to have like the genes to like process it. It's like an actual like genetic thing on your tongue. There's like a study done on that.
Yeah, but it tastes like soap.
Yeah.
So does root beer.
You have inferior.
Root beer tastes like toothpaste.
you have
Okay,
inferior
that's a big thing. Like usually Asian countries, like especially Japan, think root beer tastes like medicine because of the way it smells. Because it smells like icy hot.
Yeah. It just like, tastes like
I still
toothpaste
like
to
root
me
beer.
with like Coke.
I used to
Root
be in
beers went
love with
down
root
for me,
beer.
but
I used to be in love with root beer when I was a little ass kid. It was like the sweetest, like best thing. I was like, oh hell yeah, it's root beer, and it has the word beer in it. So I'm like a big
I'm
kid
cool.
now.
Okay, I
I'm
wasn't-
cool.
I wasn't
And
one of
then
But
those
now they
kids.
have
as I
like
get older-
Heineken 0% alcohol. So kids,
Kids, hey,
if you want to drink piss,
only the 0%. Also, Nika, we are not encouraging children to drink piss. We are a podcast. We can't do that.
but you're not drinking piss. You drink.
But you
you're
know what
drinking
we
Heineken
can do?
0%
Talk
alcohol.
about our epic
Sponsor us,
sponsor,
Heineken.
OriginPC.com.
Oh yeah.
We're not in any way associated with OriginPC.com. I've been watching a
even
lot
have
of
a
Linus
sponsor,
tech tips, and he's so smooth with the sponsors. He just like rolls right into them. It's so natural for him, and he'll do like 5 in a video, and you're like, what is happening right now? Yeah, he does a lot. Like usually there's every video has a minimum of 1, but sometimes there'll be like 3 sponsorships in a video. Like do one at the
What the
beginning, the middle, and the
hell?
end. Well, a lot of the videos are longer too. Like you gotta remember, they're not like. I mean, there are like 10 minute
That is true.
videos, but like some of them are like an hour long or whatever. So
Yeah.
I feel like I used to watch them like for like a little bit when I would like get a new phone, but that was the only
I
interaction.
used to watch
with,
them a
like, Linus
lot,
Tech.
and then like I haven't watched them for years, and I'm just now watching them again.
The best one was when he gives like fucking like 500, like $1,000 to like some of his employees. Like go fucking wild, and they just
The
buy
Intel
crazy
Extreme
shit.
upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
he gives like
God.
$5,000 to. Yeah, Nika, can imagine if you like he literally Intel, because Intel sponsors it. It gives you $5,000 to do whatever you want with your setup. So some of them like legit buy brand new computers like plus a desk, and then other ones spend like $200 on the computer and then and then like deck out their room. It's
Yeah,
kind of
like-
funny.
Wow.
I like the one guy who had like the sexy ass like big dumb fuck monitors, the Giga Chad PC, and this little piece of shit plastic desk that Linus had to add like a
Oh.
little fucking wooden plank to.
Yeah, that one was fun. I like the one, oh god, there's one where like his editor, he had like Linus like paint his entire like basement.
That's just free labor.
I liked that one dude. It was like this one Asian guy. He like what did he have done? He like put like $300 toward the actual computer, and then he just bought stuff for the rest of the setup. He like replaced everything, and then like he wasted so much money on like some random stuff. Like he got like a neon sign that said like live
yeah,
laugh
the life
now.
warmer guy, the neon sign. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
What?
Yeah, it
That's
said
sick.
live laugh thou, and he just had it in the back.
No, absolutely not.
Hell
no
yeah.
way.
You got a neon lip. I think the sign almost broke or some shit too.
He bought like 3 new chairs or something like that, and like a
he
new
got like a
desk.
neck massager, an arm massager.
Oh yeah, he bought like
What does he
massages
need?
for his feet and his neck.
What does he need 3 chairs for?
Oh, I'm thinking about 3 chairs. I think he like replaced one of them. But then he had like this really nice desk that he replaced for some reason. I liked his desk, but he wanted a standing one, I guess. So
Yeah.
that guy was funny.
That guy was
Just
fucking
buy
awesome.
a
epic.
laptop.
No, but he wanted a standing desk so he could like stand while editing and typing.
Yeah, you know, like how they have the desks that like go up, and I kind of want one.
Yeah,
Those are
whatever
awesome.
it is.
Yeah.
Okay. I think
Oh,
those
I
are
wanna do
cool in
desk.
concept, but I'm too pussy to do it. I could not stand all day. I'd get
My
too
wire
tired.
management could not.
Yeah.
I
can't,
just
I can't.
wired. I just managed all my cables coming out of my computer. I've never like managed my outside wires until like now, just because it was like where my computer is now. It definitely has like
You see
wires going
everything.
across my desk. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Mhm.
needed
I
to
mean-
manage it because I've always had it like down here, like below my
Me too.
desk. So
I mean, to be fair though, you just got a computer upgrade. You want to tell the pod about it?
sure, it took me
Yeah.
like a week to build.
Yeah.
This thing was such a
Yeah.
pain in the butt, dude. We might as well do a turn cam.
A
This is
tour
the fish
setup.
take.
Setup tour.
It's not a tour
Yeah, yeah.
setup, but it's the so
Is it filled with water? No. Okay,
Yeah, it
okay.
is-
I thought
it
it
is
was the one that
water-cooled.
was like filled. No, but I thought it was the one that was filled with like, you know, like the oil, like the mineral oil that they like so. Oh, the PC's in the water, but look, it's not broken. It's not like
oh, I know what you're talking
water
about.
Yeah,
cooled, you know,
Okay,
those ones. And like, oh my god, look at this! Look, it's so cool.
it's so
Yeah.
cool. All it is I upgraded all my parts. I got like a 3070 Ti now. So Skarner, which was the old computer, was using a GTX 970. It was using a 4th gen Intel i7. Richard, I know you won't know what any of this means, but for the viewers that
I
are
don't.
watching, they'll know. So yeah, it
Yeah.
was
I know
like a
what this
GTX 970, an Intel 4th gen. The hard drive, Skarner's hard drive is still in here. A Toshiba 2 TB hard drive. Actually, it was a fast for a hard drive. It's fast. It's 140 megabyte write speed. But in
Mhm.
terms of the new parts in here, we have 3080 Ti or 3070 Ti,
What
well,
the fuck?
12th gen i7, NVMe. I got Samsung 980 Pro NVMe, which has write speeds of 7,000 or up to 7,000. What does that
Jesus.
say? I
don't know anything.
So okay, Richard, in terms of like the easiest thing to describe to you is the hard drive, right? So Skarner's old hard drive had maximum read and write speeds of like 140 megabytes per second. The new NVMe SSD drive in here, which replaces that, has read and write speeds of up to 7,000.
Holy shit.
So
What a Chad.
and it's water cooled. So I ran into a lot of issues building because this is my first water cooled setup, and I already in probably like 6 months I'm gonna flip everything out because the cables, I want like my cable mod custom cables. Those aren't in here yet, but I also want to redo all these tubes because I want to do 14 millimeters, which is essentially the thickness of the tube, because these ones are like probably about like that thick. And the 14 is like it's like literally slightly more.
You
But
look
yeah.
the way you're looking.
Bending these tubes because
I look-
since it was my first water cooled setup, I ran into a lot of issues where I just like for the fittings, which the fittings are like the bits that connect the tube to the actual part, so they're like the black things. I just kept running into issues where I didn't get the right thing, or I thought I needed something that I didn't know I needed. Like for example, I don't think you can see it here yet because it's kind of dark. There is a wait, hold on, I might be able to.
Yeah.
Where is it? There it is. I don't know if this will be able to show it. Maybe if it wasn't so bright. There we go.
The light
So
of
that
power.
is a what's a good way to do this? No, this is awful. Okay, there's a drain.
Like that, there. It's
There's a
fine. I
drain
see it.
valve right there. So
Yeah, we
that's
see
like
it.
I unscrew it and the water will come out.
Yeah.
Oh,
For
shit.
that, you have to connect it to a Y splitter. So it's essentially a fitting that has two outs. So one in, two outs. And then you connect the valve onto one end. I know, Nika, very, very nice, huh? So you connect the valve on the one
Oh,
end,
you
and then you
get
can put the
two.
pipe on the other end. Yeah, it's like a snake.
It's like a
Um,
snake. Yeah, let's go. It's like a
But for
snake.
the drain valve, I didn't know you need a male to male adapter. So I thought it would just screw in, right? I thought it would just screw in. I was very wrong, and it doesn't. And then also for the 90-degree fittings, the ones I bought, so there's two different ones. There's one that goes from pipe to pipe, and there's one that goes from block to pipe. Okay.
Mhm.
The first ones I bought because I didn't want to use any pipe to pipe in the setup because I wanted like nice clean beds. I did end up using them, but I bought the ones that were for pipe to pipe when I really thought I was buying the ones for block to pipe. So there's a lot of like small issues like that. I had to drain. I had like some major like bubble issues, which in hindsight, now that I know how to do it, I could have just left those in there, and like there were much better ways to get them out. Because what I ended up doing was I filled it up right with all the red, and then there was big bubbles there. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna refill it. So when I was draining it, I actually wasted a lot of the coolant. So that's why the water level in there is kind of lower. You can see it 'cause if you look at the it should be more toward the top, but it's actually lower just because some of it got away from me and I lost some. So, but in about 6 months,
water?
it's a coolant. So it's like it's water with treatment in it, and then obviously it has a dye in it to make it red.
Can you drink it?
No.
Have
That
you
would be
tried?
very bad for it. It looks like Kool-Aid and it actually doesn't smell bad. Like it smells kind of good a little bit.
The forbidden.
I was
Kool-Aid.
I was tempted. I'm not gonna lie.
And just like
Oh yeah. You know,
like a snake look.
But yeah, that's the
Yeah.
TLDR. I love this case. It's called the Height Y60.
It's so cool. It does look like a fish
I
tank.
like I like it more and more. Like it was one of those things when I first saw it. So a YouTuber I saw did a video on it. All the tech YouTubers have like done videos on it now. The first time I saw it, I hated it. I thought it was super ugly. But then it was like hypnotizing me because the more and more I saw it, the more I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
but yeah, that's the new computer. I got some nice
What's its
fans
name?
in there.
Oh.
We're either gonna go with Samira or Kha'Zix for this one. So my stepdad took home Rek'Sai. For the viewers that don't know, I actually got this is like the second new computer I got within like a week. Because I got a different one that I named Rek'Sai that I put together, but I ended up just flipping some of the parts out, upgrading some of the parts in it, and then giving it to my stepdad. And since this is like essentially just a brand new computer, this is going to be a new name. But we're deciding between Kha'Zix and Samira.
Vote in the comment section down below if you want Brandon to name his computer
True.
Kha'Zix or Samira.
I'm down. Let me know what
Yes.
you guys think below.
Fun fact: my computer is named Blue Sentinel after the blue buff in League of Legends.
So this one could be Brambleback.
Hell yeah! Blue Sentinel and
Oh, I don't have a
Brambleback.
cool name, guys. Mine's just a footrest.
Oh my god, Nika, what the fuck?
It's a footrest.
It's like
That's
that one picture
actually
that went
epic.
viral where it's like I just use it to rest
No,
my
wait.
foot
It's
feet.
nocturne.
It's Nocturne.
It's nocturne.
How is
Because
it?
I have absolutely no lights on it. Absolutely nothing except for like the power button. I
So
didn't
it's
like
Nocturne 'cause
customize or anything.
darkness?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're
No,
saying
yes,
Nocturne
it's
has
also
a...
always in the darkness because it's
Are you-
always under my desk.
Are you saying Nocturne has a foot fetish? Is it canon?
Could be.
Oh,
I mean,
it
he is
could be.
grabbing at people through the dark. He's like, hey,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what?
Give me your toes.
Let me lick your feet. Let me lick your feet.
Okay. Nika's just fucking rocking up. Let me lick your feet.
Why not?
Actually,
Wait,
epic.
but you guys have something wrong with people that like feet?
No,
it's just
I don't
random to
kink
bring
shame.
up. Yeah.
Oh.
But
I don't
speaking
kink
of
shame.
League of Legends-
That's a big thing with me.
Speaking of League of Legends, I did mention it earlier, but Nika over here is actually our team's primary support player and one of the players on our main roster before we even started scrimming Sam Houston and other teams before we got into comp. But Brandon and I have talked the pod's ear off about like scrims and what we thought about it. So now is a great time to let us know, the general audience, what did you think about scrims? Like, what were the big takeaways, highlight moments, all that shit? Nika, go.
I thought that was. I thought.
That's epic.
I thought that was a cue for the audience to say something.
What audience, Nika? These are pre-recorded.
No, we're very
sorry.
interactive with our audience. That's what we're very
I was
popular and known
waiting.
for. Dude, my ADHD, I
Nika
keep
was
grabbing
just
things.
I was waiting. I was like, yeah. Go ahead, guys. And I was
Go
like,
ahead, wait, what guy?
You
Oh,
know,
the
the
guys?
guys in the comments.
guys.
Yeah, the guys in the comments, yeah, let us know.
Guys.
Where are you?
No, but Nika, actually though, what did you think about scrims? What are like the big highlights, takeaways?
No, I think it it was really fun. Like it was really fun to like get to talk to like the Sam Houston like support. Like it was fun to like show her how to dominate your laners, because just because I don't get no gold doesn't mean you don't have to pay me.
Let's go.
But no, like it was really fun. Like shit talking their ADC was also really fun. Stomping and then shit talking after stomping the ADC was really fun.
True.
And like there were like many off times as well. Like, you know, there were times where we like weren't on like very good, like when we got 3-0'd, but
we never got 3-0.
2-1, sorry, 2-1.
We got 2-1 and then we lost. They beat us once and then it ran away. But the overall Scrim record is 5-3 against Sam Houston. Our team's total record is 7-3.
Yes. So it's pretty good. Like there was definitely like times where like we were very tilted. But I think like it definitely pushed me more towards like playing more supports, because I'm competitive now, I guess. Because I was trying to main like mid lane for like, because I wanted to improve as a laner, so I could be a better support.
Nika.
Absolutely not.
No, she's not allowed to.
Why not?
Absolutely not.
She's locked up now.
Because I got my ego rubbed in saying that I should be diamond by now, or I could be diamond. So
yeah. Oh yeah, Nathan. Oh, Nika, fucking tell us about that. Tell us about how you felt about the ADC swaps and shit.
Oh, that was nice. Like Nathan was really like good. Like for example, like it was another voice of like just shot calling. Like there were many times where like we would definitely go in for the plays just because we are just like power chippers.
Yeah.
Yes, and better power chippers.
True.
Better power chippers. But like there were many times where you just kind of like, you guys got to back off. Like back off. Like surprisingly, we just all listened because
we all kind of agree too. Like no one's like this play doesn't exist. We're like, oh yeah, he's right.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of like we were like giving this new person like all like, you know, like shit. You know, we are like, but like in lane, I was like, okay, we're going in.
Yeah.
Like I'm going for this kill. This is my kill.
Oh yeah.
I own this.
My kill. I own this. You. Don't forget, I was very fed that second game.
Oh yeah. That
wasn't I like 9-4 Lulu?
7-0, and you asked me, and I was like, "Fuck it, you want blue buff?" And she was like, "Yeah, sure." So Nika and I walk in, we storm the enemy jungle. He's staring at me. I'm staring right back at him, and then I like look to murder him, and like, Nika, take this blue buff. I'm gonna kick that guy's ass. He takes the blue buff. I charge at him. She buffs me, and we beat his ass in the middle of his own jungle. And we're like,
that's messed up. That's abuse right there. I think that's the dictionary definition of abuse.
Oh, but it's like you gotta assert your dominance. You know, this blue buff is mine, and you're blue bolt. You can have that one.
You did play with 3 ADCs though. You played with the Buck or Josh last game, right?
Yeah. To be honest, I don't remember too much. I don't know if he was too quiet or I just like did my own shit. I'm so sorry, Josh.
Yeah. I mean, I think he was like,
yeah, I think he was more on like just letting you like handle you, like, kind of deal, just giving you control of the lane. I think was what he was trying to do.
Which is what support usually does. Like that is what support is. You're supposed to control the lane.
ADC, you're just there to hit people.
Like ADCs think they have all the power. They're like, I get all the kills. I have a big ego. I have all the CS in the world. But bitch, you don't got that if you die.
Yeah, true. It's interesting to see how like bot lane dynamic has like evolved. Because back in the day, it was like always like, oh, ADC, they were the top dog. They were the most mechanical players just because like ADCs, you know, you had to like be able to kite and walk and like, you know, do all of this stutter stepping, all this kind of stuff. And it's kind of like evolved into the support is like really in the spotlight now. Like the support is like,
no one wants to play little big support. Because support used to have like no money. They used to be like literally like bags of gold, not being able to do shit.
We have to like, make our own money.
Yeah, and then gradually over time,
you gotta work with nothing
like,
and make yourself a god. Yeah.
Yes.
Now support I think is like the strongest role early, just because they have so much front loaded power. They have
and
like,
they give so much power to
items,
the rest of your team too.
Mythics,
just through roams and like vision.
Because they're still free because they don't need to do like they don't need to do anything just as long as the ADC is not fucking ending.
Support and jungle too are both like mutant roles because they avoid like the most fundamental part of League of Legends, which is like laning. Because you don't really have to wave manipulate as jungle. You have to understand to like gank and hit your timings, but you don't need as in depth of a like understanding about like how the waves behave. And neither does support, to be honest. You can, and a lot of supports are like conscious of like waves shoving in, waves coming into us, low push,
Oh
hard
man,
push, but
it pisses me the fuck off when my ADCs do not know how to like
yeah,
wave manage.
Glad I'm not the only
I'm
one.
like, they're like, why did you push that? Why did you touch it? It was fine. And I was like,
you're an idiot.
the wave is literally almost right under the tower, and our wave is still in the middle, and you're trying to back right now.
Yeah.
And like sometimes they're freezing on us. Like, oh, why didn't you have to hit the minion? They were gonna gank us. And I'm like, yeah, that's why you push the wave so you get out of lane.
Yeah, Nika's awesome.
It's like you guys tell me. It's like you guys tell me, oh, like how is it? Like you guys ask me, how is it supporting? You know, like three ADCs and three. I play support ranked.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that's not like you came back from Nom, dude.
True. Like literally, I came from like an apologetic support to be like, okay, and
we should start asking you how it was overseas whenever we start doing scrims again. So what was it like overseas playing ranked?
Hell yeah.
True. Oh my god, I swear to god, like fuck, like ranking late nights is.
Nika got fucking ego stroked by fucking Nathan, our sub 8, or I guess our main ADC now after we benched Secret because of like I don't know how to say it, like etiquette, I guess, like scrim etiquette.
Yeah, communication issues, just basically.
Communicate, yeah. And then Nathan came in, and Nathan, for those of you watching who don't know, otherwise known as like LCM Houston Presidente on the SHSU Discord, or like passive, or in game as Jackers Mikers. Nathan was someone at SHSU on the esports server who was like one of the first people to really like welcome me and say hello and like include me into things, along with the mid laner and the support for SHSU Orange. And so when we set up scrims and stuff, Nathan was like watching me play, and he was like, "Hey, I think you're really good. If you want some help, let me know." And then during tryouts, when I first joined Sam Houston, I qualified for their varsity team, but I just left because I didn't click well with the people that were there. And if I'm being real honest, when I was like, do I want to be with this varsity team, or would I rather play with my boys? I was like, well, one of them's cooler and more handsome and strong.
It wasn't that hard of a decision.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm quite the handsome boy.
I duck dipped and dove away, and then Nathan offered to coach me, and then something I need to clear up is when I get coached by Nathan, it's not Nathan shoving a controller up my asshole and I just like fucking do whatever he tells me to. It's literally Nathan's jungling. I'm staring at him. I'm like, oh, why'd you do that? Oh, because of this. Why'd you do that? Because of this. Oh, okay. Okay, so is that how that works? Yeah, okay, I'm doing it. What champs do you think are strong right now? This and this. Okay, cool. I'm playing this. Is this right? No. Oh, okay, I'm gonna do that. Okay, yeah. All right, bye. I spent like, I think it was like 6 hours with Nathan across like 3 months. But the stuff I was able to learn just by like asking questions and like poking his head at the game, like helped me spring up from like, I think I was like gold 3 and I went to gold 1 in like 3 weeks. And then this is my fastest ever ranked season because I climbed from silver 2 to platinum 4, and I think like a little bit over 2 months, which is the fastest I've ever gone.
That's good.
Very good.
Yeah,
very good.
And
that's good.
Nathan is a former D2 peak jungler, like perennial D4 player. So when he joined in our scrims and he was playing with Nika, he's like, yeah, your support's like easily like around diamond. Like, I don't know what the fuck she's doing. I don't know how any ADC complains with her. She just kind of goes in. He's like, yeah, I didn't even have to do anything. The support did everything for me. I just sat there. And Nika's like, yes.
They're mine.
They're mine. Nathan was just following her around like a goon. He was like, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, but I don't, you know, when I first started League, they said ADC is the hardest role to play. And I was like, okay, let's play ADC. Let's go. Like, I made a separate account. I made a separate account to hide from my friends so I could practice CSing.
Yeah.
And I said, fuck that. I said, fuck it. And I went, I don't know how the fuck I started playing support, but I think it was when Rakan came out. And I was like, that's a couple. Oh, that's so cute. but like I wasn't
got
like
you.
with like
Yeah.
Pesh then. So
Uh-huh.
oops, sorry, you dropped something. So it didn't make any sense. But what is this? I lost my train of thought.
You're cool.
Or playing Pesh, Zaya, Rakan.
Yeah.
Zyrcon, yes.
Or no, not Pesh, not yet. That's what it was.
Yeah, not
Pesh,
yet.
not
just
yet.
Rakan.
Pesh, not yet. Not
Yeah,
you.
just Rakan. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I liked Rakan because he said, "I'm beautiful," and he
Yeah.
like jumped around and stuff, and I didn't get touched. But I don't know because I never play him anymore, which is really sad because I
We'll make an
like
angle
him.
for
really
you to play.
cool.
Whenever Scrims start back up again, we'll make a Rakan angle for you somehow. We'll do it.
I miss playing Rakan because I want to be Hilly Sang.
Nika actually does play like Hillsong though. Nika is the most like
He does.
aggressive, fucking in your face support
But
I've
also
ever
like
played.
in
dude.
like shit. I'm.
Nika is a flippy, bro. It's so weird to say. Nika is a lot of our firepower.
Oh my gosh, I love Nika's support. I love ADCing for Nika. I think Nika loses like 20 IQ when I ADC with her. It's so funny. Bro, I think you're a lot better now, but you remember back in the day, all this stuff that would happen in the lane?
I remember jungling for you, and I was
Oh,
like,
just
oh
like-
wait.
Like,
We're going in.
I felt bad because I was starting to yell at you, and I don't like yelling at people like that. I was like, Nika, what are you doing?
I remember one play. I was ganking for you. They're at drag, right? I don't remember who we're playing, right?
Mhm.
So I remember I'm ganking for you. You and Nika are fighting. I blow 2 summoners. Like, okay, guys, I will be right back. I'm shopping. Okay, I will be back. I will kill them later. And you guys are like, yeah. I like, you have your wave. Are you cool? Yeah. Jungler is top lane. You're okay. Just relax. I will be back. I leave, right? Nika goes, oh, I'm fighting. Brandon goes, wait, what? Nika fucking barrels into the enemy. Brandon is recalled. I see his character fucking sprinting as fast as humanly possible to try and catch up to her. Nika hits a CC. She's like, where are you? Brandon's like sprinting off the fucking lane. He tries to heal her. He doesn't hover his mouse on her character. Nika dies. He wastes heal. He's by himself. And then he's like, oh fuck. He dies. And then and as this is happening, I'm walking back to bot lane. And then they say, and he's like,
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. What can I say? This is why I don't need
my
Rakan
gosh.
anymore because I just walk. I don't need to dash anywhere. I just walk to them.
to be fair, Brandon's ADC is legendary. It took him 3 seasons to learn how to use a summoner spell on me. Brandon would just watch me die. I would counter gank for him. It's me. I'm holding back like 2 motherfuckers. I'm like, okay, Mr. President, I will defend you. And I'm like, Brandon, okay, we win this fight, heal me. What? And then I'm
Listen,
dead.
all right.
Then they 3v1 him. He heals for himself. And he's like, ah, man, what happened?
Listen,
It's like,
all
oh, why'd you
right.
go in,
'Cause this is a thing that's been around for 9 years. I heal for me. Not anymore.
This is why that motherfucker is top lane now.
I'm better. I'm better
This is why he's on an
now.
island.
Yeah,
It's
that's why I'm
so
by
confusing.
myself. That's why I only healed for myself. It's so funny. There's so many times that would happen with me and Ant bot lane. I would feel so bad. It got to the point. It got to the
Anthony
point
had to
where I
take
would
heal
make
for
him take
himself.
heal, and I would just take ignite. I was like, Ant, take heal because I know you'll heal for yourself and you'll be low before me, so it'll work out. Which it did, which was nice.
I remember for like 2 years, I had to remind you that enemy top laners also had summoner spells. You're like, oh fuck, he had flash. Oh fuck, he had ignite. I was like, Brandon, we see this
Well-
loading into the game.
Well, just because it was like, you know, I expect people to do certain things, and then it would throw me off. I'm like, why do you have ignite? Like when TP was really good, people would be taking like ignite or like
but
barrier
Brandon,
or
you would
something
say that
weird.
in champion select. He's like, this guy has ignite. I just need to play back. Come here for me. Okay, I'm coming. Ah, fuck, I died. He had ignite.
Yeah, but like, you know,
But
sometimes it's easy to forget.
True top laners never take
True.
ignite.
True.
True top laners only take TP.
not anymore. I always take ignite now. I'm not
Yeah,
a real
now
top
TP
laner
is kind of-
anymore.
Oh
Now that
shit.
TP shit, yeah.
Oh shit.
TP's a lot better
Earlier-
late game, but it's like,
Yeah.
I hate it.
It's
Yeah.
like okay, like if your champion can't side lane, I don't think you should TP.
I think.
But I still take it anyway.
No, I think you could TP if you team fight. If you're a team fighter, if you're like fucking dumb fuck Malphite, like fucking group with your team, huff paint on objectives, I think you can take TP.
If I'm playing Malphite, I'm taking Ignite. I'm still taking Ignite.
Yeah.
I'd rather just kill my laner.
You gotta get those kills.
Brandon's just bloodthirsty.
I go chem tank, full AP.
Yeah.
full. I go full CDR with the ultimate hunter, so I can have that 30-second Malphite cooldown.
Brandon is secretly a bronze player with platinum mechanics. Mentally, he has not matured at all.
Dude, that build is nuts. You have ultimate every like 24 seconds.
Yeah, but also if you lose lane, all right, guys, my lane is over. I'm leaving. I'm roaming now. I'm buying the support item. I'm just fucking killing.
Bro, top lane don't understand. Top lane's awful. Once you start losing like that, you gotta leave. You're just gonna start inting more.
True.
Yeah.
That's what I do when like my ADCs are really bad. I just like.
Okay, it's more acceptable for supports, Nika.
Yeah.
Okay. It's more acceptable, but you know, my main ADC on this server is a bit of a. Why did you leave me alone?
You can say him by name. You can say him. He'll be watching.
Secret.
Yeah.
The smile.
Smile.
Baby boy.
I will say, Van and I on the earlier episodes of the pod, we were talking about how we've adapted to each other and our playstyles over time. Like Brandon's learned to like call for me more. I've learned to fight harder around him and like defend him to leave him on an island. Brandon will like not kill himself over a cannon minion because he wants to like gamble and like take the game into his own hands. He's like, oh wait, I have teammates. So what I want to ask you is, have you seen your playstyle change after playing with our server for a bit?
I think so. I think so. I would like to say that I do play more safe. I play more safe sometimes. When I'm on the other flip, we're like, okay, we gotta play passive, right? But like half the time, I'm like before, like I was super like very aggressive. Actually, you know what? I'm fucking lying. I'm a motherfucking liar because I used to get fucking yelled at and be like, go in, and then I was expected to be like, okay, you're supposed to go in when I said go in, and I'm like, but there's a Discord delay and I can't think what you're thinking, I can't see what you're seeing. But like this time I'm the one making the calls, especially in bot lane, because I have a baby boy that I have to babysit, and also baby boys because
hey,
you have many people you have to watch.
Top side has always been Giga Chads, okay, to be fair.
Yes, but it's like sometimes like I do go up there, like sometimes it's like, well, thanks, Nika. And it's like in the fights where you're just like, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna fucking swivel around my Darius blade, and I'm gonna come on in, and I'm gonna go ulti in, and I'm like, fuck, I'm low, and then I'm like flashing a war, like I'm flashing towards you to fucking ulti you so you fucking get your reset. and you're like, oh, I'm alive. Like,
There's been so many moments like that where I'm like, how am I still here right now? I should have died 5 minutes ago.
You say Secret is your baby boy. On our team, Brandon is the favorite child by far. He gets all the love. He gets counter pick, jungle resource, support roam, warriors. He gets fucking everything.
I'm like, guys, I'm going in. Good luck.
Brandon is like he's the favorite child by far. Everyone's like, yeah, Brandon's just kind of cool because if we give him gold, he runs with it. So it's just like we just dump it into him. But he also power trips.
There have been moments where I've been in like the enemy jungle and I'm like 1v3 and I'm like, oh, this is a mistake. Then Nika shows up out of nowhere. I'm like, why are you here? She was like, I knew this was gonna happen. I had the foresight.
Nika and I will both do the same thing. We will see you like run at the enemy, like and Nika will like look at me and she'll be like, we have to go up there, right? I was like, yeah, we have to go up there. He's gonna fucking die. Like,
we have to put him back.
Meanwhile, I'm worth 1,000 gold.
Yeah,
printing it over to them.
The times when you have your fucking like weird bounty,
like,
running at them, and I'm like, oh my god, please.
It'll be like the smallest fucking thing. You'd be like, that there's a cannon minion.
Guys, I'm sorry, I gave Vayne 1,000 gold. I hope that's not an issue.
I remember when we were fucking jungling, and when I was jungling for you in Clash, you were Darius into Mordekaiser. We scout out the enemy.
Oh god, not this again.
I gank you. I accelerate Brandon so far ahead. He is
This
one
was such a sad
whole
game.
item ahead of the Mordekaiser, right? I dropped like 40 CS to get him to that point. I'm like, Brandon, I will die, but I need this Rift Herald to get back into the game because it gives me enough money to get my next item so I can show up to the fight. Defend me. Are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'll defend you. I'm like, cool. So come down after that wave. Come here, boy, and then we can take this Rift Herald and I can leave. And he's like, yeah. Okay, cool, Brandon. I'm doing bot lane. I'm starting the Herald. Yeah. Okay, Brandon. Okay, they're coming. Are you collapsing? Yeah, I'm collapsing. Bzz, I'm bot lane. But Brandon, what the fuck? And then the Kane comes in. He kills me, steals Rift Herald, steals tower, my entire top side jungle, and then Mord gets my shutdown, and then we lose. And he's like, fuck, what happened?
Okay, to be fair, that was a long time, but that was before I had the trust. And that was also not the only thing going wrong with that game.
It was the whole.
It didn't help.
That's what I remember.
It definitely didn't help. Well, we had losing. Mid bot side was losing.
Yeah,
but then it was literally just you and me. But then it was also like I remember that so perfect. I remember TPing and being like, oh yeah, I probably shouldn't have TP'd because there was like a big play happening bot lanes. They were at our. They just destroyed our tier 2 tower bot lane. They're pushing toward inhib tower. So I TP'd. I think I TP'd to a ward or a minion to behind them to get the flank.
Yeah.
And so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna cover you. And then you were doing the rift shot. I'm like, all right, I'm coming. And then I saw the play bot lane. I was like, I'm going bot. And then that was when they took out TP cancel, so I couldn't cancel it. That was like just like after they changed that. Because usually, because at that point I was used to being able to cancel it too. Because I was like in my brain, I was like, okay, cool, I can change my mind if I need to.
Yeah.
Because then like, because after I TP'd, the play was like not as good, so I would have preferred to cancel it if I could. But I remember that so distinctly because I was like, I'm coming, I'm bot lane.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
To be fair though, Brandon and I also have really nasty ass fucking 2v5s over our time together on fucking pre-made comp. I remember that Sentinel Darius one where I was like, Brandon, we win this. He's
that
like,
was
no,
when I
we
was
don't.
psychotic. That was the season I had like a million pentakills.
Yeah, you ran away in that fight. I'm like, Brandon,
that was true.
I will kill myself.
At that that was like the game ender. That was like when we were ending the game when we went to their base. And I wasn't like 100% sure just because I knew how strong I was. I didn't know how strong you were. And you were like, no, we got this. And I was like, okay, let's do it.
You were like, you're walking away. I'm like, Brandon, I'm going.
Yeah, I was like, I wanted to leave
myself
because I knew that I couldn't 1v5 them like that.
Yeah.
Because I knew I could like 1v3 pretty easily, but like when they got the 5-man, it was gonna be tough for me. And then you're like, no, I can support you enough. You're good. And I was like, okay, he's going in. I'm coming. I'm down.
I remember I was like beating a guy's ass, and they're like just on me. I was like, Brandon,
oh yeah, you were in before me.
Here.
I was because I was leaving, and then you were going in. I thought you were gonna die, and I was like, I'm leaving. And then you were I think I came in like 3 seconds late because you were still alive, and I was like, well, he's still alive. Yes. We can do this.
I killed a man I killed a man with my own 2 hands. I just fucking one-shot his ass. I was like, fucking, and he was like, fight back. And I'm like, don't worry, the cavalry's here. Fucking Booher runs in on Darius,
I'm coming in,
and he dies.
That was with Phase Rush too.
Yeah. That old era. And Nika's also been nasty. There'll be times where like I'm getting my ass beat in the jungle, they're invading on me, and then randomly Nika's like, I'm here. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? She's like, I also don't know, but I'm here now.
Like I literally just like run out of my lane all the time. Like I think like especially like if me and Secret are not doing well, I'll just leave him. I just leave him. I'd rather not get tilted.
That's the move now.
Yeah, and he just like farms. But like the worst thing is like when he gets like 2v1 and I'm like, why are you getting 2v1?
Yeah. I mean,
that's like any ADC too though.
Yeah, but it's like they tell me, they're like, oh, what are you doing? And I'm like, I just gotta kill mid.
Because looking up like, Papa, it's not my fault.
I you know.
He's like looking up to God. He's like, Elo God, it's not my fault. Don't punish me.
It's not
me. Like, yeah, it's not that. Me and Nika had some fun back in the day too, because of when I was on like that psycho I lost lane, I'm roaming now.
Yeah.
Her and Secret got to experience that a lot. Well, no, because I would just go bot. I'd be like getting the flank bot, and it's her secret. I'd be like, I'm bot, guys. I'm behind them. I'm ready to tower dive. I remember so many times you guys were like, what are you doing here?
Brandon would
Because you're
gank
not
more
ready for it at all.
than me. Like he would lose top lane. I'm farming. He's like, I'm ganking. I'm like, fuck it, okay, sure. He's like, I took dragon. I'm like, fuck it, okay, sure.
He's like,
I'm
let's
for
swap
bot
lanes in
now.
the middle of game. Let's swap lanes.
I
I'll
do-
be the jungler.
I do remember though a while back when I was asking Nika about her playstyle. She's like, yeah, I play like super aggressive on purpose because I have you guys behind me. I'm not
Yeah.
normally that stupid. I'm like, fair.
Yeah,
No, yeah.
yeah. Like that's what I was saying. Like that was my point earlier. Because like usually, like I'm like with like Pesh, I'm like usually just cowering in fear. I'm like, what do I do next? Like, what do I do next?
Yeah.
It's like, oh fuck, you didn't tell me to do. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like I literally saw a video, like on TikTok, like today, of like, oh, like we traumatize support so much. It's like you steal like one like cannon, and they're like fucking like apologizing profusely. He's like, I'll do fucking better next time. Like please, please, please. Like I'll be good. Like I won't do it again. I will never do it again. Like that used to be like the like relationship with like during a league. What I would have with like Pesh. Like it was bad. But like it kind of, like obviously it taught me to see like the things that he would see, and like obviously with you guys were more passive with me, obviously. So I was like, oh, I can take control. Like,
Yeah.
oh, let me
Yeah, we
put
don't
my
want to be
backpack
bullies.
on. Lulu,
Yeah.
we're going.
We're
Nico
going
will, like,
Bring
in.
that big
Nico-
staff up their asses.
Nika will do the thing that I did with Brandon in the 2v5. She's like, I'm going in. I will kill myself for this. You're either with me or you're not. And we're like,
Yes.
fuck it, okay, sure, we're with you. He'll have like
And, like,
0 engage. He'll be like fucking Lulu or some shit. He'll be like, my Q is an engage ability. I hit one
Yes.
slow. All 5 people need to run at the enemy, or I will kill
Yes.
myself for it. I don't care. Okay, okay, sure.
Wow.
Like what? Like what is this? Like I think like yesterday, like I literally played Lulu against a LeBlanc and I destroyed her asshole. Like
Yeah.
I gaped that asshole.
Let's go.
Wait, hold on. So my ADHD, you like triggered it. You triggered it. So you actually get league content on your socials?
Yeah, I do.
Really?
Yeah, like obviously I'll get them sometimes, and if I do, like I like it, so I get more.
Dude, you're like invested
like-
that because I like on any of my socials, with the exception of YouTube, no league content whatsoever. Not even a sniff of it.
Oh, I have League on everything.
What?
I have League on YouTube, Twitter, Reddit, Discord.
What?
Like I
everywhere.
don't.
You
I
guys
don't
ingest
use-
too much league.
No,
You don't ingest enough.
No, I don't. I'm the issue here.
You're
the
problem,
issue
Brandon.
here. You're the issue. No, the
That's
ones
so much,
the
though.
league contents that I get, like if you guys don't know this, like one girl, like I think she's from Toronto or something. She's like, oh, well, it's like okay, I'm so
Oh,
sorry,
gotcha.
but she mocks the ooh girls. Just is like, oh, how do you get the ADC to stop flaming you? It's like, oh well, please, I'll do better, and something
Okay.
like that. But I'm so no, I'm fucking cringing at myself right now. But no, I get like mostly her. Like sometimes I get like montage, just and stuff, and like sometimes I get this stuff where it's like support trauma.
Support trauma. So it's all support. It's all support stuff, huh?
It's all support trauma, and like sometimes I get like Valorant stuff and stuff like that. Like I'll get like the lineups, and I'm like, ooh, that's a cool lineup.
I don't think I get any gaming stuff on any of my socials except for like Instagram. There's like some gaming stuff in there, but like very like casual. But like no, my socials are like very, I guess like real life focused. I guess I don't know. I think maybe it's just because like of the contrast that I have. Because like when I'm in my gaming world, I'm in my gaming world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Well,
gaming world is all the time.
I don't know. I can't
Nah,
get
I
like
lie.
I can't really get like because I think a lot of my like socials is like a lot of like gags or like comedy stuff or like just like interesting cool stuff.
Oh, I'm lying. Actually, I have a separate Twitter for academic stuff only.
Okay.
I only have like so I on Twitter I follow like all like the book authors that you see in the background because they post like really interesting shit and like links to article. Because I love like academic shit because it's so much fun to just hear like the like empirical studies about like the most random shit. So like the most fun one was like people who study on like internet trolls, and it's like internet trolls come from like lower income areas and have a smaller range of vocabulary than normal people. And I was like,
Okay.
someone paid money to study this. Hell yeah, brother. That shit was odd. It'll be like the most like petty shit. Or like it'll be like a fucking thread about like how like this one like PhD doctorate level like writer for like communications gets paid more for writing like lewd erotica than she does for academic articles. And she's like, bro, the erotica pays more than academia. And it wasn't even close. She like had a screenshot. It was like,
I mean, you gotta
$2,000 for like erotica,
uh-huh.
and then like $300 for academia. And I was like, fuck.
But if you ever want to make money, you just gotta appeal to the sins, right?
Yeah.
The 7 sins.
Unfortunately, being smart is not a sin.
Like, why do we think that OnlyFans is like blew up so hard during the pandemic?
Yeah, bro. She was saying that like fucking OnlyFans pays better than her university. They're more consistent with their fucking pay. They're more like they're more like ready to reply to her and shit. And I was like, bro, that's so sad.
I mean, is that a surprise though?
Yeah,
No.
I mean, okay. After being in it, yeah, but you wouldn't think that, right? You wouldn't think like a professional like research institute at a university would be less reliable than fucking OnlyFans.
I would.
Really?
There's more people in the world that care about horny than knowledge.
I mean, yeah, there's more people that care about that, but you'd think as an academic place they'd hold themselves to higher standards, no?
I would
outside
think,
looking in.
I don't know, because I feel like I feel like in general the horny makes more money than like, you know, like your average engineer probably.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, because it's like you're like for like engineers and stuff, like these are the like the audience that you're trying to meet. They're like way up here, right? The people that would be interested in these kind of things. Yeah. But there's like a plethora of like other fucking levels.
You can it appeals to multi-regions. You've got
I'm not saying that I expected academia to make more. I expect academia to be better about responding to things and like more available, right? I don't think that fucking your university, where you are like one of the smartest and like most important people in there, should respond to you.
I'll explain to you why I'm not surprised about it. So I'm not surprised about it because the horny is more sensitive, right? You're dealing more with like your body and like private things, so they have to be more careful. So that's why I think they're quicker on and like more on top.
No, but it was erotica though. There's no pictures. It's just erotica.
People want the next chapter.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if it's both writing, right, and one of them is like an actual like research institute at a university, one of them is like one of them is OnlyFans, right? You would expect the university to have better infrastructure and support for fucking writing, right? Like you would expect that, but no, it's weird. I expected that.
I would say yes, no, because I feel like for like any unique or academic kind of thing, it's more like restrictive, you know, more limited, while those other sources are more like broad and free, I guess.
Shit was still funny though. I was like, come on, man, that's so sad. It paid like triple. It'd be like fucking triple the thing. And she's like, this is what's wrong with teachers in America, bro.
There's a lot of things, dude.
The public school versus private school discussion that Brandon was talking about earlier was basically like we were like talking late night, like shooting shit, and then I was like, you know what? This is why if I ever become a dad, I don't want to send my kids to private school, because you have to keep them away from like all the crazies, and then I want to keep like that love for like learning alive, you know, like because I was under like actual like good teachers who aren't dog shit. And then Brandon was like, well, no, because you want your kids to toughen up, you want them to like learn how the world works and see like this is what bad is, so I don't want to do that, and like let them grapple with like how tough and how like diverse the world can be by like exposing themselves to new people, right? And so Brandon and I were like, you know what? I see where you're coming from. He sees where I'm coming from. We just personally haven't like, we understand enough of each other, but we're not like swapping over. But I'm curious to see.
Catholic school.
Yeah, Catholic school. Is that your move?
Catholic, is that like more
Catholic school?
Yeah, but like
I feel
so
like it's in the middle, I think.
So you're like it's more of a middle ground. It's like Catholic school. I always thought that was like more of like a private school.
It is closer to private school in the family too than public.
It is closer. Like definitely like Catholic school are like, you know, held to like a higher standard. We do have a different district and everything like that. But it is still like free. Like so like anyone can enter just as long as you're like in the area, basically. And you're you don't even have to be in the religion. You don't even have to be in the religion. You just have to be Christian.
Yeah.
You would.
But I think. But I don't. Yeah, I think you just had to be Christian. I think
you have to be some kind of Christian denomination, preferably Catholic, but some kind of like similar.
Yeah.
Julia.
Got it. Okay, so as long as you're like in the same kind of vein, you're okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically the same family tree.
Yeah, but it wasn't like we were taught like, for example, like in religion, like it wasn't like, oh, like be Catholic, be Catholic. We were just like taught.
You
about,
weren't
like,
taught that
general
like
morals and
other
shit.
religion was wrong, essentially.
No, it was
Like,
just we were learning about other religions. So like we were learning about like the philosophy about them. Like we were doing philosophy in religion class that we had to take for 4 years.
Mhm.
So they had to do something more interesting than just a fucking Bible, right?
Got it.
So like we talk about like Hinduism and like Islam and stuff like that. Like it was like with good teachers, it was fun. Like I think, you know, like if you want like a good academic, like usually Catholic schools have like a better like reputation when it comes to academics and stuff like that. Like the school that I went to was like first in the city for Catholic schools. So it was good in that way. Like they offered a lot of shit, but it was also really bad because like it still felt like public school. Like there's still like, you know, like in every school you'll have like, you know, the druggies and all the shit and the bullying and stuff like that. But like if you still wanted to send your children to like, you know, in a good academic school, but still have those like world experiences that, you know, like you probably wouldn't see in a private school. Sure you will, but they're probably still like, you know, tightly regulated. But like for in like Catholic school, like, you know, if the teacher doesn't see shit, they're not going to do anything about it. Basically.
So you would send your kids or kid to like a Catholic school. Because that's what we're kind of like, we're trying to judge. Because because Richard went to all private school. I went to all public school. And for me, because I want kids, I don't know about you, but like I want kids. And if it was me, I think I'm kind of like split, but I'm more toward I would send my kids to public school. And like Richard already said, he would send his kids to private school. And where I'm coming from is more of like, I think there's a lot of things that you can like public school can teach you that you can't get from private school. And like I recognize that like private schools, you have better teachers, you have better education and stuff like that. And like there's a lot of resources available to you from private schools, just because you're obviously paying a premium to send a kid to private school, where public school, you know, that's why it's public school. But I'm more speaking from like my experience from public schools, because I had more of like a sheltered kind of public school experience, and it's kind of like the route I would want my kids to go. Because for me, because I've always taken honors classes and AP classes once I got into high school. And to me, when you take those classes, you're less involved with like, you know, the bad stuff of public school, like drugs and violence and like that kind of stuff, but you still get to witness it. So you still get to like become accustomed with it and learn it without being as involved in it, like as if you were taking regular classes. Because for me, it really showed me, like, if you wanted to like just talk about drugs, right? Like it really showed me, because I saw like other kids and students taking drugs. And I'm not saying like kids that took honors classes or AP classes weren't doing that. It's just like it wasn't as like in the forefront, or like wasn't as common as like kids just taking regular classes. Because like if you're gonna be taking like those type of higher level classes, you obviously have more of a focus on like that's what you want to do. And like those types of students just in general lean more away towards like, you know, doing drugs and stuff like that. So I was still able to see how it was affecting the students that were doing drugs, and like immediately seeing the effects of that, like just seeing them like look so much older than they are, like looking at like seeing their hair fall out and like their skin being all pale and like that kind of stuff, and like seeing fights break out, and like just understanding how like not okay it was, while also still being kind of in my own separated area, because the honors teachers and the AP teachers were better. But I do recognize that like, at a private school, your kids will have a better education, and just in general, just because of like the teacher quality difference.
Yeah,
so I was
it
like,
heavily depends on the quality of private school.
True.
But what are you saying?
But like funny that you say that, like, you know, like honors class and AP classes, like because the thing is like maybe like 70% of like the kids in like my AP classes were all fucking druggies and fucking drunkards.
I guess it's a school diff.
Yeah.
Was it the other thing I was like giving public schools, like it was like the diversity, just because at least the school I went to, it was very diverse, just because it was outside of the city to where you weren't gonna have like a bunch of like gang violence or anything like that. But it was also like in a close to like the nicer areas too. So you would have like a very drastic diversity of like just different races being mashed together. It was very like, I would say like maybe 30% of the kids, 30 to like 40% of the kids were like upper middle class to like, higher class, while like another 40% were probably lower class, and then like 20% like in that good like middle class range, or maybe like but it was just like estimates, but like, so it was very like wide range of kids. So I feel like that also taught me a lot of just paying attention to like money and like understanding people's like situations and stuff, and like being more caring for people. Because like in terms of like my friend group, because in my friend group most of us are like middle class, but like some of us are like lower class citizens where just the income's not there, and some of us have more parents that are more wealthy. So like there'd be days where like one of my friends just couldn't afford food, and my other friend would be like, don't worry, I've got your back, right? So I feel like it kind of like teaches you an element that because at least my view of private schools, and granted like I've never attended a private school, and I've vicariously lived through people that went to private schools, right? Where I just always felt like private schools were more closed off and more like just more sectioned off, just because in my mind the people that send their kids to private schools are very like selective on that. So it's like more of the same thought process, to where now it's going to be, in my mind, it's going to be harder for you to accept other people's kind of like mindsets, or you're just like being more closed off to diversity and stuff, was like my other argument. But I understand like there are private schools and things where it is more diverse, so I know it's like I mean like what we're talking about is a very school to school basis, because like all public schools, private schools, Catholic schools, all that stuff's gonna be different.
Yeah, like I guess like like in like private schools, it's like you have to meet that certain level of like wealthiness. You have to be able to afford it, right? Whereas like in public school, it's like you can be like a rich fucking person and you just send your kid to public school because why the fuck not? You want to like your kids experience like more real experiences, right? Or real experiences. Right, and you can have the middle class and obviously the lower classes as well, but in private school obviously you can't have that. You have to meet certain threshold, and I feel like obviously like I don't know like too much from all the TV shows I watch, not credible at all. I feel like it's always just like I'm just saying this, but I feel like there's like I don't know, I'm not sure if like this is true. Like there's always that competition of it's like who's like more wealthier and stuff like that, or it's like like these are the things that like my parents can achieve, or like I can achieve these and stuff like that.
Like putting down just based off of like your parents' success and stuff like that. What do you think, Richard? Did you see any of that?
Well, speaking as public school or private school simp here,
you're the representative for private schools in this. If Nika represents Catholic schools, I'm the public school kid.
It's so fucked that I'm talking about private schools in the tie. By the way, I wore it because Nico's wearing one. I'm
in the midway.
Oh my god, it's actually on theme. I look like someone that goes to a public school. You look like someone that goes to private school. And Nika actually looks like someone that would go to a Catholic school.
Yeah. No, but I do agree.
They do not have ties, actually. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I do agree that there's like so first off, right? I don't think you go to private school blind. I think there's a lot of context, right? Because I think there's a lot of times where a good, like, well-supported private school or a public school is better than like your shit private school, right? Because private school has a very big skill range in terms of the teachers and the curriculum that they employ. Because private schools use the state curriculum, at least in the U.S. They abide by the standard state curriculum. But the way that it is taught is completely up to them, right? They have to follow they have to hit certain goals, but how they get there is their choice. So like, let's say you have to get to 4 total. You can do 2 plus 2, you can do 3 plus 1, you can do whatever you want, just end up at 4. So that gives a lot of freedom. Yeah, that gives a lot of freedom to like how they want to teach students and how students can like excel, right? But the problem with that is some schools are private, but they don't have very strong infrastructure to take advantage of that freedom. They don't have teachers who are like passionate enough to like put in the extra hours. They don't have like the support programs. They don't have like all the bells and whistles that you would expect them to have from their freedom. But if they don't take advantage of that, they're kind of shit. Whereas like a good, well-funded, like well respected private school does have like the mandatory infrastructure provided to them by like the school like handbook for like what is expected for them to have in terms of like academia, like student life, clubs, all that type of stuff, right? I'm not taking away from that. The part that I'm cheering for private schools is within that freedom, private schools can ramp up like a motherfucker because they have that flexibility. Their ceiling for like what they can enable for students is absolutely fucking massive.
Like they can
And
boost you up
because
very quickly.
yes, because in the self-selection of getting to private schools, it is classist, right? You do have to be able to afford it. It is kind of fucked. Like the reality of it is like more money does not equal better person, but more money makes it easier to be a better person. It's fucked. That's how it is, right? But when you're
I mean,
in
that's how the
because of that,
education system is in
yeah,
general, but
yeah. But because of that, when you are in like private schools, right, you're around people whose parents are like of a similar socioeconomic background, up or down. But because your parents are all like sharing that same like understanding that we're sending you to this private school so you can be smart, right? The culture around it is a lot different. It's not, at least to the private schools that I've been to. So I've been to four, right?
Mhm.
Two, actually three Christian schools, and then or two Christian schools, one Catholic school, then one non-denomination school, right? At least in there, the culture is completely different because learning is cool. Like it's not like in the movies where like you see the nerds getting shoved into lockers. Like the people who know more are encouraged by the teachers to like flex and show off. Like you're getting the spotlight, you're given like freedom, like you're given that like expression to like explore like what knowledge does. Like you're encouraged to like be the smart kid to like study up for those tests. Like you're allowed to like just straight up skip, at least in the schools that I went to, right? Like if you're overly qualified to be in your class and you're getting bored, the burden of execution is on the teacher because your parents are paying that premium. So if the teacher doesn't do their fucking job, your parents can go, "Hey, my kid is bored. My kid does not understand this. What the fuck am I paying you for? Like my kid is not well supported." And obviously you get the Karens that take advantage of that. But having that understanding going into it and then finding a good private school, I think is so important because having that good first introduction into things like math or writing or reading is a game changer for you how you interact with the world as a whole. Because if you don't have a good like introduction, it's really hard to get into those types of things. And it's really sad to see because a lot of the stuff that you learn in school is like really interesting and useful shit that gets blocked off by dog shit teachers, bad infrastructure, fucking poor funding and all that type of stuff. And like it's not excluded from the bad apples or anything because there are like still like the rebellious people, like the
Mhm.
risk takers, like the fucking suck you and fuck you under the bridge, snorting whatever the fuck. But I
Mhm.
really value having that strong foundation and that strong like love of like academia and getting that started because then when you go out into life and like you're looking at like people um like falling from grace essentially, like inting, like not taking care of themselves, even though you can like slip into that hole, you're a lot more well prepared. And like the scary part of like school is not scary for you because like that's what you've been doing the whole time anyways.
Yeah. I mean,
Mm.
Nika, you could tell me because I know Richard, you're like, is your school very like supported, like skipping grades and stuff, right?
Mm.
Nika, was your school like that too, or
I don't actually.
like did they make
I've
it?
never seen
You never seen anyone
like
like skip a
any.
grade?
I've never seen anyone skip a grade. Like you
Mm.
can fast track your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can graduate a year early if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Like as I
Like
know for my state at least, I mean, granted, Nevada in terms of the United States has one of the worst education systems in the country. Just to get that
Mm-hmm.
over and done with, we've always been bottom percentile of the country in general. Like we were, if you included the United States territories, we were actually below them.
Mm-hmm.
So just take that into account. But I know for our public school system, it wasn't as common just because it was harder to do, just because the school systems actually didn't want you to like skip grades because they would rather you take more advanced classes than just skipping a grade outright,
Mm-hmm.
which was available, which was available in the state. But in terms of the schooling systems, and I don't know about the private schools out here or not, because I haven't heard anything about it from people that I've known. But I know for the public schools for sure, they do not in general support you skipping grades. And if you are going to skip grades through a public school, at least here, it's a more involved process. It's not like, just do it. You have to have a lot of conversations with your teachers, and with faculty at the school. So like talking to the principals and vice principal of the school, at like a lot of parent teacher conferences. Because I know for just in terms of also taking a more advanced class, you would have to talk to, in general, like if you wanted to take a more advanced class, first of all, you need a teacher recommendation. That's like step one. And then you also need support from your counselor, whoever your academic advisor is. And if you didn't have both of those, then you immediately had to like go up to the next step. So now you have to get the principal involved, or not the principal, you'd have to get the vice principal and stuff involved. And if it still wasn't supported, then you have to go to the principal, and then you'd have to go to like the board of directors. Like it was a very involved process just to, like, let's say you were going from normal classes and you wanted to like challenge yourself to go to take more advanced classes. But also in saying that, it also wasn't that difficult. It was very bipolar, because to involve my stepsister into the process in terms of like AP classes, because schools wanted to raise their status, because the more AP students you had, the more honor students you had, you got more funding, just because those classes were more involved, so they need more funding. So it did eventually get to the point where they would shove kids into AP classes that didn't even ask for it. At one point, I'm getting like off track a little bit, but for instance, a couple of people that I know and my stepsister, they got shoved into AP classes that they never even signed up for, just because there was so much pressure from principals and faculty onto advisors to put kids into those classes. So they were more aggressive on, hey, do you want to take AP classes? Hey, do you want to challenge yourself, like that? But it was like more of an unhealthy manner. It was just to get funding and to get money. So
I mean, that is a downside with like any like with academia in general. I don't think that's like private, public, or like Catholic. I think it's just like shitheads like at the helm will always run your fucking ship into the iceberg no matter what you do.
And I did want to talk about it because you mentioned it for a brief moment, just like having finances for education. I think, in my opinion at least, finances for education go hand in hand. Like it's very important. Like if you have the money to support yourself, it makes it so much easier to do well academically, just because you have those resources. You can afford tutors, you can
get
afford
tutors and books, you
all
can
that
spend
kind of
time
stuff.
not working, all that.
But also it's like, even if you want to take it at the simplest level, like just for testing for like SATs and ACTs, right? Like everyone in the US, I think it's an international type of thing, I believe. But like just like something as simple as a calculator, right? Some students can't afford a calculator, but most people, I would say majority of people, can't afford like a cheap calculator, like a basic one. But then you have students that can afford a Casio FX, like like 3000X or whatever it was, the one that you can literally plug an equation into and it will give you the answer. And those were allowed for SATs and ACTs, which in my opinion, I feel like it's
basically a game shark. It's like, do you have enough money to pass? And like,
it's
even though
literally,
there are exceptions to the rule, you don't
need
things by
to,
the exception.
because those tests are, those tests, they have a bunch of issues on their own, but we won't get into that. But just saying, like, you'd have an equation, right? And let's say if you didn't have as much money, you had to work a lot harder just to like, because you literally needed to understand the process. But not only that, those tests you do not have a lot of time for the amount of questions, right? I think like the average amount of time you can spend on a question is a minute to like 30 seconds to a minute, right? Then you got to move on. So just having to go through the process, even if you did put in the work, even though if you do know how to do it both ways with whatever calculator you're using, the kid that has the calculator that can't just plug in the equation and give you the answer, or you can't just plug in the graph, because a lot of those are like really awesome. You can just plug in the points on the graph and you can see the graph.
It's just harder to do, like if your calculator is like cheaper. And it's
like if
really
you're using like a cheaper calculator, you have to do all the work, right? And have to go through it. So like there's a lot of math equations, anyone that's gotten to that point in their math classes, and like you guys, I'm sure you understand, it takes 5 minutes to work through some math questions, right? Math equations.
And then some calculators go zip zop zoom.
And some calculators, you literally just plug in the equation, it'll give you the answer. But like if you're gonna do it legit, it's gonna take you 5 minutes, and that's like, okay, I just spent the time on that one question I should have spent for 5 questions. So now you get to the point where you have to start guessing. So it's like, to me, it's like, it's unfair.
It is how it is. It's just
that's just how it is. Like
Yeah,
we're not
I
the
mean-
we're not the problem solvers here.
Yeah, I mean, I love academia personally. Like we talked about this in I think it's episode 1, Nika, if you watched that. I don't know if you did. I don't know if you remember, but a lot of my approach to life and in games in general comes from academia, where it's like reduce as many variables as possible, focus on one thing at a time, look for like obvious signs of progression, and then work your way up the ladder like through steps, so it's like stable. And the goal of
Yeah.
like academia is to have your floor be someone else's ceiling, have your worst days be their best, and like aim for a consistency and like efficiency over time. Like that's the goal. Whereas Brandon's approach to games comes from like a lot of art, and it comes from like a trial and error, like hands-on experience, or like believing in yourself and like, so I fucked this up, so now what? Like it's more of a feast or famine type of approach, where Brandon will either hit a straight 10, knock it out of the park, go from like amateur at fighting games at best to like grand blue, like semi-pro, or
Yeah.
he'll fucking plummet straight down to I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing, and I'm just
Mhm.
ignoring it. But for you, where does your approach to learning and approach to games really come from?
For me,
Yeah, yeah, for you.
I do like. I do think I'm more of like I do think I'm more on like Booher said, and more of definitely like a trial and error
Mhm.
type of person. Like um like I don't think like I look at like variables and stuff like that. Like I don't like I really don't think I'm like that with gaming. I don't think I'm like that at all in like real life as well. Like there are definitely things that that I do that I try, and it's like, oh, if like this doesn't work, like I'll just fucking int again. It's like that didn't work this time.
Mhm.
Let me try another time. They're positioned differently this time.
Mhm.
like I'm definitely more of on the artistic side. Like rather than the like academics.
Mhm.
She's
I-
one
I
of
don't-
me. One of
Yeah,
my
she's one of
people.
Yes. It's because
She's
we're
wearing the pie like
Pinoys.
me, but she
We're
thinks like you.
Pinoys. Yeah.
Nice.
I got that.
Can
I
always
got the
stick
shirt,
together.
Yeah. They stick together.
Mhm.
But
Yes.
in terms of league, where do you think your playstyle really comes from? Because Brandon's comes from a lot of like art and like wanting to control like individual agency, like single player me versus the world. Whereas mine comes from wanting to like control an enemy and like being able to defend like my people. So where does your aggressive support style really come from?
Can I just say that it's Pesh?
Sure,
You
yeah.
can, yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Were you like that from
No.
jump or?
I think so. Like half of the things that I probably do right now, like obviously, like I've like harnessed it myself, like
Mhm.
using enchanter supports as like aggressive. So like kind of meeting the middle of where like what I like to play, but where I'm supposed to be, what I'm supposed to be doing as a support, right? You're supposed to be engaging the fights and stuff like that. And obviously there are like instances where your ADC can like instigate the fight, but usually you're taking like the hit and everything like that.
Gotcha. So you're saying you didn't
Right.
really have like, oh, hold on, keep going.
No, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, so you're saying like for like league, you didn't really have like a league identity until you met Pesh. Like he kind of helped you find that identity.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
they introduced me to the game essentially. They did
Yeah.
introduce me to the game.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so like it was like that group of friends was like like there were definitely things that I took from them, and like oh, like these are the things I should be doing. So I was like, okay, these are the things I should be doing. And obviously as I learned like my playstyle myself was like I want to be enchanter. I want to be my main playstyle is I want to cuck people. You think my teammate is going to die? Fuck you. You're
So you're on Richard's side.
That's my main playstyle. No, that's my main
Uh-huh.
playstyle. My main playstyle is but it's also like yeah, like I love killing people
Mhm.
when they don't think I'm gonna kill them. It's the best feeling in the whole
Gotcha.
world.
So like
Mm.
pulling it away from like league and like going into more like just
Mhm.
games in general, so like Valorant or like even the games you like first were playing. So like for me and Richard, we both had very like isolated upbringings to where we were kind of like off on our own, but we kind of like branched
Mhm.
off in like different ways to where since I was off on my own, I had to like deal with essentially my life by myself. I took the path of making everything as good as I could be for like myself, where Richard more like took the path of making it not as bad, right? So he brought his bottom up, so like his bad days could be better, while I brought myself on the high end so that I could have my good days can be that much better. So like in terms of how that has affected how we play, like I'm more like you see, like I'm more flippy, like more I'm just gonna try to do the best. Where Richard's like I'm not gonna do bad, right? Like I'll be consistent. I'll be consistently not bad, which will make me good. Where I'm more like I'm gonna do my best to, even if I fail, I'm just gonna like try to be at like the top essentially. So like just like going back, you don't have to like go into details or anything, but just like how you grew up and like how you see life. How does that like affect how you've like always played games from like your beginning to like now, just like in any like just games in general?
Games in general, like definitely in League, because like I'm definitely like a people pleaser, like right, like definitely like support is like probably the best role for me, but like when I do play like mid lane, like I am more on like the conservative side, where it's like okay, I'll take some like some like trades and stuff like that, like if you think you can solo me, like try, but I'll probably kill you, but like I do have a limit of like if I'm playing mid lane, I can only die 4 times or 5 times, 4 to 5 times.
So you have like a hard limiter on
until
yourself.
until I say fuck it, I'm going back to farming. Because I know myself, like my best game state is mid game. Like I am like with any like the champions that I play, I'm the best at team fighting. I'm more inclined to like look for opportunities where it's like, oh, like these are the Orianna ults that I can pull off. Like I love playing Orianna because I can like get that like that engage and get that flip where it's like like the kiteability of it is like what I love the most about it. But when like I'm in support, I always have this rule where it's like your death is half of your deaths. So if you're 210, you're actually 2-5.
Gotcha.
So yeah. So it's like, so I take a more like very aggressive, like I'm more like limit testing when I'm in my support, because I know like I know that my team, like obviously you guys have me, right, and like you'll pick up where I left off, or like I'll just have to come back and all I have to do is protect. Like, so I'm still in that safe space where I can do what I need to do, but I can go up, like I can go further than what I have to do. But in mid lane, it's like, okay, like
she's less bipolar than us,
Brandon. I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
So you're like
that's enough.
Like a limit tester, but you have like your limits so that you don't like fall too off the deep end. Gotcha.
Yes. Like, or like the best feeling in the world is like if I'm like 1-4 or 1-5, is when I get to 2-4 and 2-5, and I'm like, yeah, it's not that bad. 2-5 looks good.
When you start like coming back up,
2-5 still looks okay. It's still okay. It's still okay. I'm probably inting, but it's still okay.
But I also want to talk about, because like you said, you like being like a cuck, right?
Yeah. Or
so
cucking.
like for
She's not the cock.
Cucking.
Opposite, Brandon.
Opposite, wrong one.
Yeah,
you like to ruin people's day.
Yes, I do.
So like in terms of Valorant, you play like a lot of Viper, right? Like she's your main chick. And for you, Richard, would you like to explain like what Viper does for like Richard and like anyone who doesn't know?
Yeah, so Viper is basically like she is a smoker, but like her smokes, so if you pass through them, your health decays like immediately, like by like I think I'm pretty sure it's 50 HP. So you do have that kind of opportunity to play in your smokes. So what I do like to sneak. I am a flanker. That is the type of player that I am. Like if my team is not doing well, like I'm definitely like unless I'm the only smoke in my team, I'm never going with my team. Unless we're like we've decided, hey, we're gonna press W and we're gonna rush it in. I'm gonna fucking flash this. I'm gonna smoke this. Then but usually I do not trust my team. I don't trust my team, so I go off. I usually get like my picks. I die like in most of my games. I die the least because I do not like dying. I still think it's like League. It's like, oh, you're fucking feeding.
Yeah. And flanking is very fun in that game.
Yeah, it's very fun. Like, I also love it like in moments where like I'd smoke an entryway, right? And you'd expect, you know, the Viper to kind of play off, like play because you're rushing her. You're fucking rushing her, but I'm just like standing in the smoke. I'm like, please come in. Please.
So
Please
you're
come
like,
in.
so like Viper, because I was thinking like you'd maybe like play Sage or something, because then like someone gets your teammate low, you can heal them, or you can like wall off like an area to like deny a play. But so it's interesting. So you like to play Viper because, I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, because like you're able to deny them plays because you can like kind of get in their head a little bit and be like,
Yes.
I'm gonna put my smoke here and sit in my smoke so that like as soon as you come in here, you're dead.
You're dead.
Essentially, because like I
Or
know you
I'm
want to
gonna
move
play
up.
around my smoke, and I'll like sneak around this whole circle.
Gotcha. So you're more of like a, like they expect you to be over here, and then they're watching that point really good, and then you're like all of a sudden you're behind them, and they're like,
You got to
Yeah.
surprise people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like peekaboo.
Yeah.
But like, it's like I love the ulti. Like it's like the best like moments is like I recently like clutched up like this one game where it was literally 1v4, and I literally like I was like, guys, we need to rotate, and everybody just stayed on the fucking like site. This is on Icebox. Like if you know the map, this is on Icebox. We were pushing Icebox. I had ultimate, and I said we cannot like she fucking ultied. We're fucking like the enemy Viper ultied. We are rotating. My keep stayed.
really?
Thankfully, I had the spike and I rotated earlier and I fucking sneaked my way through, fucking ultied.
So you
like
both
the enemy
ulted?
team.
So there were two Viper ults that game.
I ulted in A side. I ulted in A side. I rotated. So like after everyone died, it was just like a 1v4, and I was waiting for everyone to entry. But I wasn't like the best part about it is I wasn't looking. I wasn't standing where the end like where everyone would kind of enter.
Yeah.
I was standing like if you see like there's like this container in between. I wasn't standing in my smoke at all. So
Gotcha.
I was waiting for them. I was waiting
Okay,
for
that's
like to
interesting, yeah.
hear them. Yeah, like I would put my smoke orb down on myself, right? On myself, not on myself, on a certain spot. And usually when Vipers do that, they would kind of hide in there to like, you know, still be in the spot, but like not be in the smoke so you wouldn't see them, right? But I hide the farthest away from that orb. And like in the spot where I could still see the bomb and just like snake by it and like molly it.
That's awesome.
Like I love it, and I love taking Shorty with it. Like Shorty,
I need to
with,
ask
like, Viper
you,
Ultimate.
was it Shorty? Oh my god,
Yeah.
you're psychotic. I need to ask you how to deal with Viper ult some other day, because I just shoot randomly in it. So Richard, just to explain to you what Viper ult does.
No, I know.
Oh, you do
It's
know?
just like
Okay.
It's just
like
a
a
big
cloud.
toxic smoke cloud. Yeah.
Yeah, but like if
I
you
know.
go into it, you go down to like 1 health, and then
Yeah.
she can see you one like how like it's a range, right? Like it's not as soon as you walk in,
Yeah.
she knows where you're at, right?
Yeah, no, it's still like a range of vision, so it's still like impaired, but like you're highlighted. But
Gotcha.
for me, like for example, if you're looking for the Viper, she's not highlighted at all. Like she's
Yeah,
like,
she's like
you know, just
Pops out, spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
So-
like, oh, hello, bitch.
Nika's kind of like the combo meal because Nika and I have the same goal of like fuck this one guy in particular. You do not get to have a good time, and we can shake hands. But she's also
Oh.
a trickster like you are, Brandon, where she likes to like surprise and ambush and like do unexpected stuff. She's like open to the flips.
But she's
But
also single
Nik-
player too.
Yeah, we're
But she
all
doesn't
single player
trust.
players.
True.
We all have team trust issues. Let's go, baby.
we can try force this. I'll go in this corner. Oh gosh, this is hard. Okay, I'll go in this
Wait,
corner.
I just do this.
No, just go in the middle of like your face and go up. And then
Wait,
Nika,
should
go
we
to what is that, your right? Which one's your right arm? Okay, now go down. Yeah, go to that corner where you're going toward right now.
All the way.
Yeah, the corner that arm's on. You go to the corner. All the way. All right.
The Triforce of trust issue.
That was a lot
Well, it's
harder than I thought it
The
would be.
thumbnail.
Yeah, the thumbnail. Perfect. Well, what I was saying
PPs
about
and a V.
Mhm.
Two PPs and a V.
What?
PP and a V. We have a PP and a V.
I don't get
This
it.
isn't a badge.
We have two Pinoys and one Vietnamese, so two
Oh,
PP.
I went backwards. I assumed the
Oh,
worst of Nika.
PPV.
I thought she was talking about
PPV.
fucking cock and vag. I didn't realize she was talking about ethnicity.
No, I was talking about cock and badge.
Oh, there he is.
Wait,
Okay.
Yeah,
what?
PP and V. Pee.
Oh.
We make the pee. We make the titi.
The titi.
Pinoy,
thought-
Vietnamese.
That's what I
penis,
thought you were
penis,
going with. I thought,
Or
or penis,
You
yeah.
guys misunderstood me and then misunderstood me. Why would you
Yeah,
ever think
let's
highly
go.
of me that did not talk about cock and?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well,
But yes.
Well, oops.
you see the team comp right here. I mean, we said it in other episodes that fucking our entire team actually we're around the same skill level and we all like kind of agree on the game. We all just kind of shake hands in the middle and now you get to see it. But fucking Nika's biggest flaw that Brandon and I haven't teased her enough about is fucking her communication. Nika has
Yeah.
one brain cell. It do what she wants to do. You kind of just have to look at her like a lost child. You know, like those little kids. You know when parents put their kids on like the little leash and the harnesses, and they just like run around and eat glue. That's Nika. Our entire team has to stare at her and be like, "Oh fuck, where's Nika? Where is she going? Oh, is she fighting here?
Like,
oh no."
it's very rare for me to be like, oh, like this is the play, like I'm going in, I'm going in. Like I don't think I'll ever say I'm going in. Like if we're already in the play, I'll tell you the cooldowns that I have. Like here, like I have E, I'm going in on this person. But like if for example, like if I'm like gonna be the first engaged, for example, I have like Leona ult, I'm not gonna be like I'm ulting. I can't. It's like there is this like this connection in my head where it's like if I say it, they'll know it.
Mm-hmm.
So like
You
if
just assume
I
that they're ghosting.
yeah. So like if I yeah exactly and like if I say like because I don't know why but I don't know I think I'm traumatized by Pesh. I don't have no idea because they were like obviously I've told you guys like there'd be instances where it'd be like go in right now go in hook and I'd be like what's a hook?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Right. So it needs to click in my head and I can't say it. I have no idea why I can't say it. I can only say it if I think you're below me.
There's like the thing is there's a lot like because I struggle with that too. There's a lot of moments where you just like you're working off of instinct, right? And like as soon as you see the moment, a lot of the times it can pass if you don't like just go for it right there in the moment.
Yeah, like if I have to say it, it's like I'm losing losing processing.
Which is why it's like
time for me to just do the
which is like it's important to have like that team synergy and like just know the members of your team very well because then like it's kind of like you know working in like a kind of like a fast-paced area, right? Like because like you can imagine it like let's say you're working at like a fast let's say you're working at McDonald's or whatever, right? And like it can get very busy back there, right? And you know people are like dealing with hot food and like hot drinks. You have like or if you're like at a restaurant, you have waiters like carrying food and stuff too. So like knowing how you move around each other is very important because like if like someone turns this way and you're like turning around, you'll smash into each other, right? And get food all over the place. So it's kind of like the same idea. We kind of just know all of each other's mindsets and like how we move. So like we don't really need to communicate as much, like to just know like oh Booer's probably gonna go in here, right? Or like oh Richard's looking for an ult here, you know, like we don't really necessarily have to communicate every single step just because we've played with each other for so long now that we kind of like have a good understanding of like what we're gonna do. Which I think
you guys
is
have
awesome.
definitely gotten a lot better about communicating though, for sure over the years.
I think
I
Nika were like the strugglers.
Yeah.
Me
I
and
got
Nika
a
were
lot
the
more
strugglers.
raw and like risk tolerant after playing with you two motherfuckers. I'm like, well, if they can get away with it, I can get away with it. Fuck, I'm going for it.
Because
Now
me
I'm
and
just,
Nika,
like,
I feel like we were
fucking
always
messing up
like
people.
the ones that would like, because you'd have like the two different type of communicators, right? Like you'd have the people that like walk you through all the steps that they're doing, and you'd have the people that communicate a lot just because they complain a lot, right?
Yeah.
But me and Nika were like always on the like, we're just kind of like in our own brains, right? Like because we'd be like, because I know it's the same for you, Nika. Like you just be complaining in your head a lot.
Yes.
But now, like over the years, we've become like more vocal. Like just like,
oh my fucking god, you fucking this bitch just fucking took my fucking CS. Oh my god, I fucking missed the cannon.
We play you two only flame the enemies though. Never in comms have you flamed your teammate until after the game is over. You just kind of brush by it, like the play spot, whatever. What's next?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Like what's going through your head, Nika? With like with that.
I think I just do it subconsciously because like what is this? Like with the people I used to play with, like obviously like they'd flame and like Pesh would give me like fucking real-time feedback right away right there. And I hated that. I absolutely hate it. It's like please, like I have other things that are on my mind right now, like for on the next play that I'm fucking gonna do. It's like please shut the fuck up. Like I think there's no use in like talking about the things that like needed to happen like at that moment because it already passed. There's more things that are happening. Like the time is going so fast in the fucking game. Like 30 seconds is just like fucking like you're fucking already back in lane, you're already fucking fighting again.
It's like another fight already.
Yeah.
Because if you're gonna argue about
so-
something, it's gonna take a couple minutes.
Yeah, and it's like, why are you
Exactly,
arguing when
yeah.
you can just play the fucking game and win instead?
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
yeah, like I'll just like keep it in my head, and like I'm usually the type of person to like just forgive and forget. Like
Yeah.
I don't
Definitely the
go
same
like
way.
big rushes. It's like, oh, like you did that play. I'm like, haha. Like if it's a haha moment, it's like, haha, you did that. But I'm not like, oh, you fucking fuck you, fucking you.
Okay, I don't hold grudges, but I remember. I remember a lot.
I'm the type
Yeah.
of person
But I
I
don't
don't
think any of
like
us
to I don't like to go to sleep like angry at people.
Mm.
Right? Like cuz like
Yeah.
when I go into the next day, for me it's like a new day. So like if I had a grudge against you, like on something specific, if I just don't like you as a person or whatever, that's different. But it's like if like I got in like an argument with like let's say like a family member or like a friend or something, when I wake up that next day, it for the most part it's like dropped, right? Like we're clean slated, you know. And like I feel like a lot of that partially is because I have a lot of arguments with people in my head. Like before I go to bed every day, I usually have a fight with someone. But like, oh my god, like I'm ready to tussle. So that way, then when I wake up, I'm like cool with them. I already argued with them. It's just in my head.
Oh no, mine's different. It's
Oh,
like
you
the
like-
shit that you said. The shit that you said in my argument. You bitch. You fucking.
Oh,
said
it's
it.
no. I get
You
mad at people
there?
for that sometimes too. I'll be like,
Pesh gets a brunt of this shit. Like I don't do it as often anymore. Like
Mhm.
I'll argue in my head, but
Mhm.
like I'm obviously more like communicative and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But like I tend not to take things that I think like the things that I overthink like seriously. Like I'm
Mhm.
like okay, it's like these are like how you want things to go, but this is not how they're gonna go. Like this is not like this is just an image of a person that you have in your head. Like
mhm. That's not the actual
Right, so-
person.
yeah,
Yeah.
like you're not actually having like the argument right now. Like shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I got you.
I mean, I'm similar, but I'm different in the sense that I don't like if I get mad, I don't hold my grudges. I hold grudges very selectively, like over like some like sensitive like trigger subjects. But generally, like I can't be fucked to keep track of it. But with our team in particular, because we're all like really fucking close. We're basically family at this point. So it's like
Mhm.
I like you more than I want to win the game, but I will not lie to any of you about what I thought would win us the game. Like
Mhm.
I feel comfortable enough with everyone on our team to be like, this play was shit, and you know it was shit. Like I will like tease you about it, and like we could talk about it, but I'm not gonna get mad at you. Like if you don't see that play is shit, fine. But if you want to tell me that it's not, then we can argue about it. But if you want to stop, I'll drop it. Like I was just teasing Brandon over the fucking Mordekaiser killing my ass on Rift Herald, even though it was like 4 years ago. And like we can laugh about it now, but that's only because we're all so close and we all really know each other and we grew up together. So it doesn't really make sense to get mad
Fight
unless
over
it's
a
like
game.
important. Yeah. But
Yeah.
something I do want to say, and I hit on earlier, is over the years I kind of warped around like the people on our team, kind of because of the role I took on the team as a jungler, where it's like my job to enable people, and my role in our friend group, which was like to enable and like facilitate things. So because of you and Brandon in particular, I become a lot more like confident in myself and a lot more like risk tolerant to be like I need to explore like what my peaks are like so I can like be better and like yeah I can take this guy, like I'll let myself power trip a lot harder than I did before. But I'm curious if either of you guys have noticed yourself like warp around me or the rest of the team and how that affected you personally.
You can go first, Nika.
Hmm. Like, well, obviously I've definitely worked in like in a way where like I'm more confident in being more aggressive and like obviously and like trusting that you guys think I'm making like I'm okay play. It's like oh like there's something gonna come out of it, and if like I fucking in, you're like well yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Usual. Like on my highs, like on the highs, like I'm like if I'm like doing engagements really good, it's like it's really good. But like on like half the time it's really fucking shit. Like there'd be like times where like I have no fucking business like eating as Leona right now into 4 people. As you guys are all walking mid lane
And we're
into
like,
me.
"Fuck it."
But I said I'm going in right this second. And if you're not here,
Yeah.
Too bad.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, well, you missed out on a play. Like I definitely think it's like that. Like I do definitely see that you have like like your part, Richard. Like they have been like more
I'm
aggressive.
greedier and I fight harder. Like I take every
Yes.
advantage possible now. I'm not afraid to flex.
Yeah, like I remember this very specific conversation that you and Josh had, where you were fighting over like this like the exhaust and like the
Oh
red
yeah,
slide
exhausting.
thing.
Yeah. Before you and that.
Yeah, I was like, and you guys were asking me too for my opinion. I was like, guys, I don't know.
That was the mahjong period right there. I remember that very
Yeah.
distinctly.
I don't know. And like you guys like you had like the paint tool and everything. You were like calculating and shit like that. Like there were percentages. They were like, like I would never take that variable where like I would fucking die and stuff like that. That was your point. And Josh was like surprisingly on like, oh, like I'm gonna, like if I can take that fight, I'm taking a fight. You have to limit test and like stuff like that. It's like, oh, but you like didn't exhaust or something like that. It was like, it was the fact that I think he didn't exhaust or something. But wait, I have to pee. Like I've definitely seen like you like improve and stuff like that. In terms of like being more aggressive and like trusting more of your instinct rather than just like looking at the variables of like how many things like this will probably fail, but it's like if I win this, it will be a game changer. Like, that's usually my train of thought. Like, like all the time, like when I do engage and stuff like that. It's like, how can I further, like snowball my lead, right? But yeah, like I don't necessarily. I don't see myself how like I've worked my playstyle towards you guys. Like I've definitely like because I have trust in you, I can do more plays and be more free with the choices that I do make and stuff like that, and not having to get reprimanded in game.
Gotcha. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Not as toxic of an environment.
Yeah, Nika just raises her ceiling and she plays edgier because she knows that like we got her back.
Yeah.
On our team, my job is to raise our floor so that when you two go in, I'm me and Cranked, our mid laner, we're the ones who like bring the game back and like claw us back in to keep like to make sure that the ints don't like fail as much. But now I'm getting greedier with like how I'm pushing advantages, and then Nika is more freed up now that she's comfortable.
Yeah, but I also I'm also like, because you're more aggressive now, I'm obviously more open now to being a little bit more passive and just like obviously supporting the plays that you make and obviously keeping you alive and stuff like that, or do like following up on your engages and be like, oh yeah, that's the thing that you see, okay, fine, I'll go in. Right,
cool.
Have you seen Brandon though, Nika? You hit on me, but you haven't talked about Mr. Brandon Booher himself.
Because he hasn't talked yet.
Well, I mean, what do you think about how he's changed over the years?
Okay. Well, you see, I don't really see Mr. Booher very often. It's like anytime that I do see him, it's like
it's been a while.
It's like, oh shit, I have to keep him alive.
It's not what means the deer running into the water.
It's like because it's like, okay, like because I do trust the plays that Booher does make, because he's very like aggressive, he's very like instinct driven and stuff like that. He's like, I'm going in, like I'm going in right now, and I'm like, okay, you're going in, okay, we're going in.
It's very like light switch flippy, right? Like it's like we could be running away, and then like as soon as I see like an enemy like maybe stutters off or like something, or like hesitates for a second, and I know like depending on what champion I'm playing, and I know like I can get a prospect off of that slight stutter from an enemy. Like let's say there's a 3-man chasing us top lane, we're running away, like we're low or whatever, like we're at like half HP, so then there's a 3-man chasing us, and like their jungler like steps away for like a second and like does this and like dips into a bush because like they're gonna give up the chase, but like the miscommunication with the jungler like just steps off for just a second, and I'm like, I can prosper off of that because now it's that jungler's on a second delay, I'm gonna flip.
Yeah,
so then I feel bad because then it's kind of like all right, you're going with me or not?
Yeah, but it's also like it's moments like where like you do that and it's like okay, like if you're going in, I'll immediately tell you my cooldowns. It's like okay, you're going in, I have my ulti, I have my ulti, I have my ulti, I have my ulti.
Oh yeah,
And
we
it's
are
like,
very
oh,
good with me and Nika. I feel like we're very good with like cooldown communication, like resource communication.
Yeah.
Like
it's like,
focus Raka, or like I'm going I'm autoing, I'm like I got Q in 3, you know, ult
Yeah.
up
Our
to
entire
Nika will
team
be
is, to
like
be
silence
honest.
is down. Yeah, true.
yeah, like
Yeah.
like Booher. I think Booher likes to like dive a lot, so I'm like, okay, you can dive. Like you can dive.
Mm.
Like there are many things where it's like, okay, like oh, we're tanking. I'm tanking. Okay, I'm leaving. Like there are many like you know like there are things that you know if like I do feel like I am better at communicating. It's just like I cannot be the communicating of
Yeah.
like my first engage. I cannot. It's just like impossible.
It's like you're a good
I'll tee you
good
up and then
communicator,
you'll pop
but
in after.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like in mid communication, right? Like not like shot
Mhm.
calling though.
Yeah.
That's
The
what you're
follow
saying.
up, basically. We're
Gotcha.
good at
Yes.
follow up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The role of primary communicator is yours truly. I'm fucking screaming like I'll be here like a minute in advance. Like enemy
Mhm.
jungler is here, objective is here. We're fighting here, right? You want to fight? Do you want to like I'll like look at you move. I'm like, you guys want to fight this, right? You're like, yeah. And then we'll flip.
Which is
And the
good because
entire team
you're
just
like
bum
in the
rushes.
jungle position. I feel like if there's any position that'll be more of the shot caller, I feel like jungle has the more. It's easier for not maybe easier. It fits the role very well
Yeah.
because junglers
Yeah.
have
I'm
to
not
like
even
watch
best
the
player
map and
on our
know the
team.
state.
I just
Mhm.
do it because no one else wants to. I'm like, fuck it, I want to do it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But Booher, what are your thoughts about how you've changed over the years
We've
around
touched
our
on it
team
before.
and
I
how
think
you've
I've
seen
just.
Nika?
I think because we touched on it before, I think I've just become more
Yeah.
trusting.
Yeah.
Like literally, I used to just always do everything for myself, but now I know that like I have friends and like people that can help me. You know, and, like just be there for me, like in game, out of game, stuff like that. You know, but like I know I'll be making plays, and Nika will probably be there to save me. You know, if Nika's
Yeah.
around and I'm like going in, if she's playing in an engager, I know that she can back me up or she can initiate something. And like also like if she's on like an enchanter, that she'll be able to protect me. Because like I wasn't kidding earlier. There have been so many times that I should have just been dead. And like Nika's kept me alive for way too long. I'm like just questioning how I'm still alive. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's the kid. The champ can do that. Like type level, and then like there'll be moments like they start like they're like, okay, the supports keep him alive too long. I'm like, no, come back over here. You're not fighting her, you're fighting me. Like you don't go after her, she's keeping me alive. Like if I'm on Darius, I'll pull them back. Be like, no, not
It
allowed.
depends on the game. Sometimes it'll be like Nika and I like defending Booher to the death, like he's our golden child. And then
Mhm.
sometimes it'll be like Brandon and I being like, all right, you're not touching the support. We will fucking kill you. I'm like
The
blocking
support
them
is keeping us
behind,
all
Booher's
alive.
like punching them in the fucking face, and then Nika's sitting there like, yeah.
Yes.
Me
thank
and
you very
Richard will
much.
do the whole like tower of power. Like, you know, you have one dude get on someone's shoulders. I'll get on like Richard's shoulders and we'll like so he'll kick the guy and I'll start punching him. Nico will be
Yeah.
behind us. Get away.
There will also be times where like I'm fighting in the jungle, I'm like, oh fuck, I have lost the coin flip, and I see Nika charging up the river, like fucking Supermaning in, and I see fucking Booher going. It's pretty realistic, baby.
Yeah. True.
Like there's been a
That's
lot of
fucking-
moments like me and Nika have collapsed like mid together too. Like we'll
Yes.
both
Yeah.
see like a good like play. Like same with you because like you're in the jungle,
Yeah.
right? But like all three of us, like we've seen that like something like an opportunity mid, and like somehow we all wind up there. And it's like
Yeah.
really funny because then like that poor mid laner or the jungler like
It's probably
like
so
it just
fucking
like gets
tilted.
4-manned casually.
Brandon will counter jungle more than I do sometimes. Like hell yeah, Nika too.
Yeah, Nika like
Yeah.
I'll be like, Nika, you want to like go into this guy's jungle? She'll be like, yeah, sure, I'm down. We'll just walk in.
You guys will be like, I'm like, jungler is here, and Brandon's like, Nika, do you want to go to this guy's jungle? And Nika's like, yeah, I'm a regular here.
Nika's
already
like,
at
dude,
the
where have you
club.
been? I've been chilling.
I already warned it. Like, I
Yeah.
already scoped it out.
Yep, you've already scouted ahead. It's clear, come through.
Hell yeah. That's
Oh my
fucking.
gosh.
That's the friendship and trust diff right there.
It's been a
Holy
lot of fun. It's been really cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that shit, both
Mhm.
in and out of game, because that same like roaming into support like that that personality shines like whenever we talk on like Discord and like just for funs and shits and giggles, and then even on the pod right here. Hopefully it's
Yeah.
been fun for the viewers to watch.
Yes,
everyone
of
can
course. All right. Well, this has been Full-INT. Obviously, we're not full-inting that much because I didn't say cocked often enough. But I wish there was a cock counter the next time I come on this podcast. But anyways, thank you to Booher and thank you to Richard for having me on this show. I'll like try and come and swing by if they have me. But anyways, thank you very much and hope you like the video and subscribe.
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Bye, guys.
Awesome.
Like and
subscribe.
subscribe.
All right, bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.